Hi Chewies, here's Alexandra and welcome to another painting tutorial. This time we are painting a Stormcast Eternal in a Grimdark painting style in silver and yellow. As you can see, I have changed the heads for these Vindictors here with some helmets from Max Minis, some resin heads. So I've went ahead and took one of those and spray primed him in lead belcher from Citadel in this nice silver tone. So the first thing that I'm going to do is to paint the shield and the spear handle in Korax white in a preparation for some contrast paint. So just simply paint it on. I'm using here quite an old brush for that, so it's nothing super fancy here. Yes, I'm painting over the shield emblem a little bit, but that's totally okay. That will be painted differently anyways later. So same goes here for the spear handle. I will finish that up and be right back. Okay, there I'm back, and as you can see I have also primed here the shoulder pads and the handle of the sword in white. Sorry that I didn't mention it previously. So now we use here a contrast paint Imperial Fist for the next stage, and we will just simply cover all the stuff that we have we want to have in yellow. Now with that, that being the shield and the shoulder pads. And ta-da! The yellow part is already done. I've painted over it a little bit here. Let's quickly remove that. There we go. So we let that dry, and I'm back in a second. Okay, since the contrast paint is dry now, we go ahead and use some Retributor Armor Gold, and we will paint all the gold details. So, for example, here the shield, then here this lightning bolt on the shoulder, the trim around the shoulder pad, and other armor panels like here and there and here. This here around the spear I'll paint gold, and also the marking here on this shoulder. I will finish that up and be right back. Okay, now all the gold is painted, as you can see, including also the edges of the shield. And now comes the most satisfying part, Agrax Earthshade, or formerly known as Liquid Talent. Give it a good shake. And then we will now smother the entire miniature in all its glory. Don't be shy with that stuff. We want it deep dark brown in the recesses. Because we are painting Grimdark and we want it to be grimy and grim and dark. also known as Blanchitsu. Just cover the entire miniature from head to toe. Just leaving the spear tip out of the equation, whatever. You know what I mean. I'm just leaving it out. Because we're covering that soon with a different shade. So over the spear shaft, we have to go a second time after this is all dry. Okay, covering here the base also. Getting rid of the silver in the recesses. Okay, and now we leave it to dry upside down. Because that will now let the shade pool in the lower areas of the miniature, where we definitely want to have the shadows. One slight problem. Here's the shield. Get rid of the pool. We'll shade that later again. So, let the mini now dry upside down. Something like that. Be right back. Okay, there I'm back, and we have a slight problem. I have refilled my Agrax Earthshade with a different Agrax Earthshade, with this one here, and this is actually one of the new formulated Agrax Earthshade that I wasn't used to. And as you can see, it just stained the armor but didn't leave any shadows behind. This is now a way too weak paint, so we have to adjust our Agrax Earthshade a little bit in order to counterbalance that. So I will now drop a little bit of Cygor Brown into that. So about that much. Let's see if that helped. And as you can see, it already is way darker. And that's exactly what I wanted. Not the weak-ass stuff that we previously had. So, it's always nice to be able to mix some colors to fill your needs, or how do you say it? To adjust for your needs. So why didn't I use contrast paints in the first place? Well, because contrast paints are prone to be way too strong in this case. I want dark shadows, but the top layer should be rather normal. Okay. Now we should have nice shadows in the recesses. I'll let that dry now and be right back. Okay, the wash is dry now, and this is how it looks now, the armor. And now I want to talk about a little bit about metal colors. Gubaton Hobbies recently made a video on a breakdown on metal colors, how they function. And the basic is they have an acrylic medium, then they have aluminium flakes in it, or mica crystals, and pigments. So, based on that knowledge, I simply created my own metal color. As you can see here, this is the original lead belcher. I have quite a lot of them through the Hachette Patchworks collection magazines like Imperium or Conquest. And so I refilled my metal pots, and I had a little bit of metal in there left, and I conducted a little experiment, and I added some drops of contrast paint, Gryph-hound Orange, to this paint. And this is how it looks now. And if you look closely, it's quite similar to the thing we just achieved with Agrax Earthshade over a metal paint job. And well, I will use that now for our first highlight. So, with a rather old brush, I'm now starting to highlight this armor. The goal I want to achieve here in this paint job is a more rough and beaten down look on the armor than this factory fresh, shiny and polished look that you normally get with Games Workshop paint jobs. The stuff that you have in the army books and codices. And I want to have it a more lived and worn down look to it. As you can see, I'm just simply overbrushing here very, very gently over the armor panels, leaving most of the dark recesses behind. And achieving, though, a more rough look on the highlights, so it's not perfectly wet blended into it. Just have a few spots of highlights here and there. Here, overbrushing over the scale armor. So you see at the top layer here, I leave a little bit of room behind of the old color. And having so the highlight at the lower edge. Here also very gently going over the riveted parts of the spear. There we go. A little bit on there. Elbow patches. There we go. Okay, and now I'm using a very, very shiny metal. In this case I use here scale color heavy metal, but you could also use mithril silver or an equivalent of that. And I'm now mixing it in a little bit to make roughly a 50-50 mix. Flatten out the brush again so that we have here, you see, a flat brush. And with that, I'm using it now to highlight the front edges of the most pronounced armor panels. I'm not going over every detail again, just the biggest panels. And now I use pure bright silver for the finalist edge highlights. Here, just at the edge of this armor panel. There, then here, down here, just a little bit. And voilà, we have a nice, very nice shaded armor. You see? Okay, now I will also highlight the gold a little bit. For that, we use again Retributor armor. I will pick out here the furthest edges of the gold, leave a little bit of the brown behind. There was a little bubble. Here the bolts. You don't need much, just a little bit touching here and there. Gently tipping the gold areas. Okay, and now I mix in a little bit of the bright silver, make also some final highlights on the gold, not too much, just here and there to represent some nice reflections on the gold. Just here and there a few, and we're good to go. Okay, yeah, that's basically it for the entire paint job. I will now also use a little bit of Algrax Earthshade to shade the shield a little bit more. So, not too much. Remove the cat hairs. I basically want a dark lining here at the bottom, but that takes several coats with a weakened Algrax Earthshade. Well, maybe I can use a contrast paint for that. Let's use Snakebite Leather. Why not? Let's try that. Ah, much better. Much better. See, like that. And then I quickly come with a damp brush and fix this little coffee stain edge and make it a nice transition. So I will go over that a few more times. Then I will also make the base. And as a last little thing on camera, I will show you how to properly shade the spear. I will use now Black Templar contrast paint. Paint it generously over it here. Then I'll come in with a damp brush again and pull a little bit of the wash around. There, voila. We have a nice shaded spear. So this all needs to dry. I will finish up with the shield and the base and show you the end result. Be right back. And ta-da! This is now the finished miniature. I also quickly painted here the straps and little pouch in black. Also the scabbard on his tiny little sword. Or hers. And yeah, here I finished the shading of the shield, made the base, and this is how she looks now. I hope you liked this little tutorial, and we see us in the next video. You're Alexandra. Bye!